Photography is a wonderful hobby. It's meant to be enjoyed and it's meant to be fun. However, many people seem to only care about getting the best possible photo, and they end up becoming worried that they are unable to capture the perfect moment. That's when people start to carry way too much gear and they got burdened by their gear, and as a result, photography becomes more like a chore for these people. My friends, let me introduce you to the concept of carrying less gear. Carrying less gear is actually quite straightforward. If you are used to carrying bigger cameras and lenses, consider switching to smaller ones. If you are used to carrying many cameras and lenses, consider carrying fewer gears. Now you might be asking, hey Gary, why do we have to carry less gear? And the answer to that question is quite simple, because carrying less gear is actually quite beneficial. There are many benefits. First benefit is that carrying less gear can make you more creative. I believe that a healthy restriction can help inspire so much creativity. By carrying less gear, sure, you'll become restricted. However, I'm sure that you will find a way to maximize all the gear that you already have, and then you'll become inspired, and that's when creativity starts to sparks and you'll get better result. Next benefit, less gear actually lets you embrace imperfection. You cannot capture every single moment. Even if you have proper cameras and lenses, it's just not possible to capture everything. Carrying less gear will let your mind be free of the fear of not being able to capture everything. Oh man, embracing not being perfect actually lifts the burden off our shoulders. You won't have that worry anymore. You won't have that overthinking anymore when doing photography. And that's just such a beautiful thing. Next benefit, less gear can actually make photography more fun and less like a chore. Carrying all these big giant cameras and lenses inside this giant backpack sounds more like a torture than a hobby for me. So start carrying less gear and I'm sure your back and your shoulders will thank you. So carrying less gear sounds wonderful, right? Now I'm going to show you how to carry less gear. This might sound obvious, but surprisingly it's quite often overlooked. So let's start with the most obvious way. Switch to a smaller gear. For example, here I have my bigger camera with my professional lens. This is the Panasonic Lumix G85 and the Olympus 12 to 40mm f2.8, a general mid-zoom kind of lens. It has all the bells and whistles that you need for serious photography project. But I can just switch to something smaller for like my everyday kind of photography needs. Over here we have the Panasonic Lumix GX85 and the Panasonic Lumix 14mm f2.5. As you can see, the size difference between these two cameras and lenses are quite massive, and you'll get plenty of weight reduction too, but you're not really sacrificing that much. Next way to carry less gear is to carry no more than 2 lenses. I think this is an important concept for you to understand, because with just 2 lenses, actually you can do so much. And the most sensible way to carry 2 lenses is to select 2 different kinds of focal lengths. One usually more normal wide kind of focal length, and the other one is slightly more telephoto. For example, in Micro Four Thirds term right here, I have the Panasonic Lumix 14mm f2.5. This is quite wide, but it's not too wide like an ultra wide lens, perfect for general out and about photography. Or you can also use something like the Panasonic Leica 15mm f1.7, very similar focal length to this guy but with slightly larger aperture. And for your telephoto lens, you can use something like the Olympus 45mm f1.8, or if you want a zoom telephoto lens which can cover a lot more, I suggest this guy right here, Panasonic Lumix 35 to 100mm f4 to f5.6. So yeah, you can mix and match between these 2 lenses, one wider and one more telephoto. Or if you are really extreme and you want to cut it down to just 1 lens, bonus point for those who can just use the kit lens, something like the Panasonic 12 to 32mm f3.5 to f5.6 or the Olympus version 14 to 42mm. This can cover both the wider side of thing, and you can zoom it into slightly more telephoto in just one single lens. If you still have that worry inside of you of not being able to capture what you need and you want slightly more convenience, you can use something like a super zoom lens like this guy right here, Panasonic Lumix 14 to 140mm f3.5 to f5.6. You can zoom in and zoom out and get to a more ultra telephoto kind of focal length with just one single lens. And the problem with super zoom lens, I'm not really a big fan of them for like everyday photography, especially with the mindset of carrying less gear, because although you only carry one lens, this is actually quite heavy. Not too heavy when you compare it to like an APS-C lens or full frame lens, but still heavier than the combination of, for example, a wider angle and a telephoto prime lens. Next way to carry less gear is to purposefully choose a smaller camera bag. Over here I have this nice backpack over here that is quite roomy and just looks really good, and it can fit up to 4 cameras with 5 to 6 lenses. And the problem with this backpack is that it encourages me to carry more cameras, to carry more lenses, to carry bigger gear with me. So I switched to something smaller like this sling bag right here. This is by Alpaka. It's called the Alpaka Go Sling Mini. You can check out this link right here, or you can check the description, affiliate links down below. With this camera bag, this is not actually a camera bag, just a regular sling bag. But because it is small, I am forced to be mindful with what I carry, and as a result, I carry smaller and fewer cameras and lenses. Next way to carry less gear is, again, as I mentioned earlier, to embrace the limitation. Keep in mind that it's okay that you cannot capture every single moment, as I said. And the important thing is that you have to understand photography, it's also about having fun and enjoying the process of photography. And that's all about carrying less photography gear. I encourage you to try it, and hopefully you'll have more fun with photography. Again, as I mentioned in my other videos, photography isn't just about the gear, it's also about the photographers, you and me. And that's why I make this ebook called Simplifying Travel Photography, where I share my experience, my expertise in travel photography. And in this ebook you will learn about composition, layering. You will also learn about gear, which aligns with this video. I'm showing you how to be gear efficient in this ebook. You can check out this link right here. I will also put a QR code right here that you can scan using your phone, or you can check out the description below. And that's all for today's video. Hopefully this has been inspiring and informative. So please let me know down below, what is your minimal setup, camera and lens? And if you have any questions, please comment down below as well. I will try my best to answer them. Also, don't forget to support my channel by liking this video, sharing this video, subscribing to my channel down below. And if you want to support my channel even further, consider using the affiliate links on the description below, or use the super thanks button to make a small donation to my channel. Thank you, and I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.